Welcome back to First Time for Everything. My name is Mello. I cannot wait to tell you about the last week I drove for Uber. So many amazing things happened, and a few things happened for the very first time. I cannot wait to share it with you. Here we go. Now, the very first thing I want to share with you is the money. I'm sure most of you, I've told you that I drive Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but for the most part, I just drive Friday, Saturday, Sunday because Friday, Saturday, Sunday gets me $800 to $1,000 after all expenses and having 4 days off of work. That is something that has been really important to me. However, I have been very interested in what I could actually make if I tried working as many hours as I did for my other job, a simple 40 hours a week. So last week, that is exactly what I did. Here are the results.
Let's go ahead and go to the Uber app. Earnings, $1,812.36. Plus $60, which was another bonus that I got at the end of my last workday, but it got processed the next day.
Oh my goodness. This is not taking into account the fact that I have a $101 ride up for dispute. Some person led me all around the town for an hour and 50 minutes and then told Uber that he wasn't even there, so I got $0 for that 2 hours. Luckily, I have a dash cam. I'm getting that 101. Plus, I have a $40 Venmo that's not included in any of this. Plus, I have $302 worth of tips that I already deducted $200 from for gas. I gotta calculate this out right now. Hang on.
$1,812.36, plus the $60 from the bonus that I got that went on to the next day, plus the $40 Venmo, plus the 101 I'm gonna win with my dash cam, plus $302 for tip, minus about $200 for gas. $2,115.36 divided by the 45 hours I worked. $47 an hour for 45 hours straight. That was my average. Wait a minute, what is that if I do it for a year? So $2,115.36 times 52 weeks. Well, we'll do 48 weeks, just give myself an easy 4 weeks off. $101,537.28 driving for Uber.
Your Uber driver boy's a six-figure earner. Oh my God. Imagine if a girl came on to me and wanted to know what I did for a living and I told her I'm an Uber driver and she walked off. Girl, you're walking away from $100,000 a year. Dude, this kind of money, I don't know how I'm not going to be driving full time at this point. Now, in honor of such a record-breaking week, I would actually like to take the opportunity to talk about the 6 or 7 people that really made my week something that I will never forget. Some of you are here, most of you are not, but all of you in your own little ways have been very, very beneficial to me in the long run. Brian, I picked you up on a street corner in the middle of nowhere looking lost as anything. When you got in the car, I realized you actually were lost. Turns out you were drinking with your friends and something happened. You don't really understand. I don't really understand, but you walked off from the group, one of the most populated places in Tampa, Soho, and you got lost 17 minutes away. When you finally came down, you realized how bad you screwed up and you did everything you could to try to redeem yourself. Fortunately for me, it was me that was picking you up an hour before your flight out of Tampa. Listen, dude, I know you were beating yourself up pretty good for all that, but it's not like you made any other mistakes, and to be honest, you did make your flight. Hate to say the fact that you're not going to get any sleep, but the fact that you didn't ruin the occasion for your friends or yourself, that's a W in itself. Water off a duck's back, dude. Just move on. You saved yourself with just minutes to spare. Antonia, what a beautiful spirit you are. What a beautiful woman you are. You get into my car with your guy friend, I can already tell the vibes off. Either you're sick or you're hurting. Turns out it was the latter. I later find out that you had a relationship with a man for at least 3 months, 3 months ago. You found out that he wasn't the guy for you, so you broke up with him, and he took it personal. He made it his point to try to ruin your life as best he could. On top of all that, you have to go to the one bar that he went to as well. You and your friend tell me that this ex was screaming profanities and all kinds of negativities to these strangers about you, following you around, trying to ruin your day. I hate to say it, but it worked. 4 minutes into the ride, you're crying in my car. Why? Because you breaking up with this dude turned him into a monster and somehow you feel you're to blame. Antonia, you're not. You have such a sweet and pure heart, it is not even funny. I told you, and I hope you remember, the right person is going to see that in you like that, and they are never going to let it go. Oh man, this one hurts me, Jack, but this is a lesson that a lot of us do learn. Here's your story. Jack, dude, you were sleeping with a girl that was just sleeping with you, and everything was mutual and everything was cool. But when the girl you were actually after gave you a chance, you kept that a secret. And worst of all, you continued fooling around with that other girl. Smart girls are going to find out, and this one did. You were literally less than 1 hour from sealing the deal, and this girl found your text messages, asked you to see your phone. You gave your phone, and she told you to get out. God, dude, as much as I didn't want you to feel that, I'm really glad that I was the guy to pick you up. Now, I told you, no judgment. If you want to do what you want to do with all these women, you do you, dude. That is not up to me. That is only up to you. But I asked you very specifically, if you could do everything over exactly the way that it played out as is, would you choose that? Or would you choose to leave that other girl behind and stick with the one that you actually cared about? I told you that if you wanted to repeat everything exactly the way that it was, well, then you have to accept the consequences. However, if you would have ditched that other girl for the one that you really wanted, then all you have to do is be a better human being to get what you want, and you'll have it. Unfortunately, dude, this is one of those lessons that is not easily learned. I am really sorry for you having to go through this situation, but I'm also very glad that it was me that was able to talk to you in this moment of your need. Katherine. Oh, Katherine. The very first thing I even told you was the fact that I could clearly see that you were immediately being responsible for your own actions. That is more than most of this world has to offer. You had a brief relationship with a guy 4 years ago and you found out he was an F-boy. It is what it is. Now, you said this guy was putting in some work over the last 4 years to get back with you, and tonight was the night that you decided to give him a chance. Now, you knew what was going to happen between the two of you later that night. What you didn't expect is to take Molly with him. After the Molly came a lot of drinking, and after the drinking came a little bit of coke. He encourages to take you out to a strip club, and before you knew it, you were having sexual relations with a stripper and the guy you were into, completely intoxicated by drugs that you don't do. After this threesome, this dude tells you that he wants 15 more minutes with a different stripper. If you don't mind, could you wait in the car? Oh my goodness, that is bad enough. An hour and 15 minutes later of you sitting in the car, you text him, "What's going on? Can we leave?" And he asks for another 15 minutes. 2 hours later of you trying to get an Uber, you finally match with me, but before you do, you tell him you can't find an Uber. You ask him, hey man, you know what we've been through. Could you please do the decent thing and drive me home? And he texts you while you're outside the club and he's inside the club, get yourself an Uber. Well, hey, I'm really sorry it ended that way, but I'm not going to tell you it's sunny when it's raining outside. You're like 6 red flags deep. I pick you up, and for whatever reason, you trust me and you tell me everything. I know this hurts you, and I know you told me that you are going to pretend like this never happened. The only 2 people that are ever going to know are you and me, and I feel very privileged for that, but understand that your redemption is pretty easy at this point. You are a sweetheart, and you got mixed up in the wrong things. I even asked you if the Molly was not a part of it, would any of this have happened? You said no. You know your problem. Don't worry about the crazy things that happened because they happened because of one choice, the Molly. This is all you, but you said you can control the Coke and the alcohol. Well, you know what? You do you, but don't do Molly. It's water under a bridge. Everything's okay. Katherine, you're a very sweet girl. You're a very sweet girl. Don't beat yourself up about this. Abby. Wait, no, not Abby. Giselle. That's right. That's right. Giselle, you are a 38-year-old Brazilian that looks like you're 25. You got in the car and started talking to me immediately, so we had ourselves a conversation. I asked you about why your name is Abby because I know, based on your accent, that you're not an Abby. You explained to me that because of the amount of harassment you receive from male Uber drivers, you changed your name from Giselle to Abby so nobody would ask you any questions about your heritage. You even told me that you regularly pretend that you have business on your phone so the Uber driver won't talk to you. You have been harassed so much that you don't talk to Uber drivers. And before I realized it at the time, you were talking to me for 15 minutes. I asked you why. You told me that you knew I was a good person and that I had really good vibes and that I'm the kind of person that you want driving you around all the time. Make a boy feel special. In all seriousness, Giselle, I don't think that I deserve that, but I'm so happy to receive that from you. My biggest reason for driving is to see true humanity out of complete strangers, and I am amazed that I was able to do that for you. Giselle, I won't forget you. I hope you don't forget me. Kevin and Jade, Bahama Breeze. I miss you guys already. Kevin was, I want to put him at around 45. Jade was at like 30, 32-ish. These 2 came from Buffalo, New York, and my goodness, that lockdown is terrible. I felt like I was driving around a couple of 18-year-olds that just had their first drink. These people were so happy with the state that they were visiting, and I was so happy to be the one driving them to their next destination. Kevin, Jade, let me make this very, very clear. I was in a $40 an hour work range, and I took the time to pause my next ride and get out of the car and enjoy my time with you. Trust me when I say that is not everyone. Maybe it's happened 50 times out of 3,000. You guys were amazing, and I hope that fate has it that we see each other again. Nicholas, you are the man. You got 3 guy friends coming from Iowa and Michigan. Am I right? Michigan? You are literally the best host I have ever met during Uber. Now, when people come out of town, there are 4 places I tell them about, and you know this because I told you this. Clearwater Beach, downtown St. Pete, Soho, and Ybor City in Tampa. You took them to all 4. I literally can't help you with this. Your friends were having such a good time, and it was because you were the host. I am just so glad I could pick you up and finish it off, not with a whimper, but with a bang. Nick, you got such a good spirit, and you said things to me that will always stick with me. I am so glad that I got a chance to meet you, dude. I hope you're here. Clay and Alyssa. Damn, what was your friend's name? He was cool as hell. I just don't remember his name. I hope he doesn't hate me for it. Clay, you are so down to earth, and you had so many good things to say to me and about me that it really empowered me. Alyssa, you have so much energy and you smile ear to ear. The vibe of you and your boyfriend were so amazing. Like, to put it into context, guys, I was having a really, really hard previous week. I didn't want to be driving when you met me. I hate that I'm this way, but sometimes, a lot of times, things bring my vibe down, and I try to force it out of me just so I don't bring anybody else down. I don't want to do that. But I would be lying if I said that I didn't need you two in my car at that moment. You two, Clay, Alyssa, you were the anchor to hold me down, to empower me to meet these other strangers and be the true me. I was having a really bad time, and meeting with you three was such an amazing coincidence that I needed so bad. Once I looked back on it, I realized at this time I was literally making $63 an hour, and I shut down my Uber app just to enjoy just a little bit more time with you. That was so amazing and so empowering. You guys are the reason that I was able to be me for the next 5 or 10 amazing people over the course of the next 4 days. Thank you so much for being where you were when you were. I appreciate it indefinitely. They say save the best for last, and this is no exception. Kelly, the real Kelly. Girl, I did not know much about you when I first met you, except that you were miserable and everybody else wanted to party. You went out with your girlfriend, also named Kelly, and I hope you don't get mad at me for saying this, but that's a really shitty friend you have. I drove you and her and a few others around for 1 hour and 51 minutes, and I didn't get to actually meet you until after about 1 hour and 20 minutes. Kelly, your friend Kelly is such a selfish person, and I'm sorry to say that it took you so long to notice it, but I'm so glad that you do right now. Everyone in the car and everyone that I spoke to on the phone while you were in the car, those are shallow people that are going to go nowhere. They're going to use up their bodies, they're going to use up their minds, and you are going to win overall. Kelly, your heart and your mind is so unique that in 2.5 years, I don't think I can compare you to anyone that holds as much value as you. You are such a beautiful and amazing woman that you can't compete with anyone. I cannot believe that if I would have been 1 minute delayed in any of the 30 rides I had that night, if I would have left for work 1 minute late, I never would have met you. I cannot believe that I had the privilege of meeting you. I hate the fact that I had to meet you under the circumstances of your best friend of 14 years dogging you in such a selfish way. I hate that that's how it had to happen. But I will tell you, that last 15 or 20 minutes off the clock of me talking to you, that was not only the best end to my night, it was the best end of my week. It was the best end of my month. Kelly, women like you are what men like me are searching for. You have a heart of gold. You are pure. You are not selfish. And you give people that don't deserve a second chance, you give them a third chance. You are a part of not only my past, but you are a part of my future. Guys, this has been the best week of my Uber life. I cannot wait to meet more strangers, and I cannot wait to see you guys again. To be honest, I'm kind of thinking like, should we have a party? Let's have a party. All of us. Not to say that I can vet everybody for everybody, but you gotta understand that the people that I'm talking about, and a few people I'm not talking about, these are the most amazing, most sincere people I have ever met. What would it be like if we all got together and spent the night out together? Oh my God, it could be an Uber Anonymous party. This could be awesome. Listen, I am so excited with the things I've recently experienced with all of you, and I cannot wait to meet even more of you out there in the world. But for right now, I gotta say, this is Mello, and I am out.